welcome back to the Tesseract server. I'm sorry I've not been doing any videos on here for a while. I've not actually done much on this server for a while. I've been a bit ill and then not playing the game much, and recently when I have been playing the game I've been doing the multiplayer things such as ultra hardcore and then also trying to start up a few new runs of videos, so I haven't actually been doing that much playing on just server Minecraft. But today's plan is to go to the inverted pyramid, which isn't actually going to be completed anymore since the... Why is there a gap in my wall? Did I make that last time I was here? Whatever. We're planning on resetting the server for 1.7, which means that we're unlikely to be on this map much longer, so there's no point in finishing this project. But that then led me to the idea of, well, why don't I try finding out what shapes I might want to use for the houses I was planning on building into the server. So what I want to do, I forgot how fast this pic was run around making some design ideas, coming up with different things that might work as to how I could have houses and things recessed into the pyramid, so that when we reset the server I can start digging the hole straight away and then just have my rough idea in mind. I'm not going to settle on things with this, but what I want to do is just see what it looks like with different shapes and experiments and things, and so we can then find out. Is this Silk Touch? Oh god, why am I using that? Got the wrong pick on me, obviously. I have to go back and sort that. But yes, this is the kind of idea that things will be recessed back somewhat. Let's actually do that. I'm just trying to work out how tall I want the entrance. I sort of want a 3-wide entrance or just a different material, but the inside is then going to be this sort of turned roof, dug back idea. So let's... how many uses have you got? Oh, plenty. Let's just keep using this for a bit. And so we can then see what I'd like, because I want to have this as an entire village dug in. I've also got to go find some lava, because my plan includes lava for the lighting of the village rather than any oh brain, come on, that's better. I want to use lava lighting walls, lava running down these corners, which is something I was wanting to work out how I would do, because I was thinking of sort of knocking out the corners and then either like this, somehow channeling the lava underneath that, or the other idea I was thinking of was to have a pair of lava streams sort of winding their way down. If I just get up to the top, so the source block would be somewhere up here, and then it would drop here and here, come forward to this point, drop here and here, and so on all the way down, so that it just flows over the edges all the way down in this sort of shape. So you won't be able to see the shape anymore because of the lava. You can actually experiment with water to see how the shapes work before I bother going to get that, but those are the two main ideas I've got, one that's sort of covered and one that's very much so open, which will be providing lighting with then sort of stone bridges in the corners to actually get around them. So I'm going to turn off, dig out some different shapes and things, and then get back to you when I've got something more to show. So I will see you hopefully in just a few minutes when I've got some ideas fleshed out, so see you then. Okay, so I'm just briefly, oops, forgot F3, just briefly back. I've dug down this one. Now the lava is actually a couple of blocks lower now than the pyramid, so that I could have the glass on it, which is allowing the light out, but is preventing any blocking of the lava. So it's one source block at the top, flowing all the way down just to use up less. Ignore the hole there, that's part of this experiment, but I don't have enough lava buckets for, because unfortunately I accidentally threw half my buckets in lava. And then this one is the much more open looking one, which I'm really not happy with. Let's just jump down. Blocks here you have to just run across, big risk of falling in the lava. You can't have it on every level. 1 second, if I do that, because this actually doesn't let the light out. If you bring up F3, your block light is 9. You break this, back up to 11. So really frustrating that I'd be very happy with doesn't actually work as a light source. This one does work as a light source. The other thing I've been debating is whether or not to actually, on the full pyramid, halve the gradient. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. So yeah, you'd have to deal with that. That's something I will experiment with, probably not here, although I might do it here, as I don't mind completely destroying the shape of this. Then I was looking at ideas for the shapes of little houses. The basic house doesn't need to be very big, so something with a floor plan like this, and then here will be a lava wall. So the source block will get put up there, it will flow down here, that will provide the light in each house. I'm just trying to work out how I'd want to block people from walking into it. I'm thinking a bar like that, or a whole block. It would still allow top and bottom lighting, but prevent you from accidentally walking through. So I'm thinking something like that, and then they'd be separated only by that wall. So there'd be another one here. Actually, let's just recess this back one more. I recessed the other one back one more. That should then, yep. So, oops, wrong thing. Anyway, then I was debating whether or not to have sort of lava channels going down between, which then led me on to the idea of, well, what about if the lava channels that lit up outside actually ran down inside? And so the channel is recessed up here, which would mean it would actually be inside the buildings there, hence why there's this gap here, because I dug this before I then lowered that again. But then I was thinking, should that actually be another block lower, so that I can again have a protective cover over the top, because yet again this is another issue where here I'm going to end up with that problem there. So then I got to thinking on to maybe if there were 3 blocks between, it could actually be a channel where it would run along that diagonal there, but the walls would have just glass in them. The lava here would be running down with glass over the top, glass on the bottom, so the light would be inside the buildings. I'm going to actually experiment with that on another wall in a moment, but that's what things are looking like at the moment. So I'm thinking bigger areas for functional things, little areas for the actual housing sections, as I'm thinking of having, I want villagers to be moved in again in my new place. So this is the basic design I'm thinking. I'll just quickly fetch this lava bucket because I don't like this design, so somewhere here, there we go, and show you the lava wall. Oops, wrong one. Let's go next door. If I just dump that in there, take that out, and here you have a lit room that has the lava displaying there. You can't accidentally walk into it. So this would be about the maximum depth of a house, because I want to ensure that the lighting at this point is still good enough, which I don't think is lighting from outside I've got here. No, so yeah, light level of 9 here, which will be 9 on the floor as well. She might be slightly higher on the floor. No, it is, yeah, 10. So I was just thinking because horizontally it's blocked. So yeah, light level of 10 here, so actually I could make it deeper, so they could become quite sizable, because if I halve the gradient of the pyramid, this will be a humongous town once it's actually built. So that's the plan there. And then if we fetch that back again temporarily, And then this idea of having the lava flowing down, as I said, it'll have to be a properly worked out channel. Oh god, get out the hole, that's the lava. And then that should come in here, provide the lighting required, but I am debating as to whether or not I want it to actually be a wall like this on each property, where then just the lava will be visible, or if I quickly, oops, for some reason I thought that would break that quickly, I don't know why. There we go. Something a bit more like that, where it's still flush but the lava is flowing away behind it. I'm debating through these options, and then I was looking at having the occasional block like this so that the buildings have windows. So that's the ideas that I've been toying with just for the moment. So let's get back that. Make this one. And I will, as I said, I will dig out this face or that face with the expansion of how these might work, and get back to you again in a few minutes. So see you then. Well, it's amazing the things you find while exploring. Oh goodness, cave spiders as well. Wasn't quite expecting those. I was digging away, as you do. Come on. When I found this ravine, which led to this abandoned mineshaft. So, actually, do I have an axe on me? Let's just get some blocks so that I can make some more torches. But yeah, just happened to have an abandoned mineshaft and a ravine hiding right near me. So this is the ravine. The entrance is just up there, which is where the pyramid is. There's more abandoned mineshaft visible in the floor there. I haven't continued exploring. What level am I at? Relatively boring. That was just iron and coal. But yeah. Alright, I'm not actually picking up any of this wood. That would help. Pardon the pun. There we go. But yeah, so I thought I'd give this a little explore before I continue. So let's turn that into some sticks, and then the sticks into some torches, and then let's see, boop. Alright. I don't quite know where the cave spiders are, frustratingly. There's that. Oh, hello creeper. There's been a lot of creepers coming around that corner. Oh, around all the corners, actually. I've just been under a lot of attack since I discovered this thing. I know that doesn't help against spiders, but it does help against everything else that likes to drop down and visit. So that's sealed. Let's just sort this out some more. Don't seem to have seen many little webs up there, so I'm going to assume spiders came from there. You coming out? Wrong weapon. But there we go, it worked anyway. Let's get some more of this wood collected. Right. Onwards. See if we can discover anything interesting. Not much point actually in discovering this when I'm just sort of finishing up on the server, finalising ideas, and where on earth did you come from? We must be relatively near the spawner or something. Or it was already down here and just hadn't noticed me? I don't know. Not quite sure where that one came from. Oh, 1 second. I don't think that actually stops cave spiders, unfortunately. But it temporarily does, while I work out how to take on, oops, the rest of this place. Any other holes? No. Excellent. But yeah, I just thought it would be a nice little change of pace. Might as well explore it now I've found it. Actually, boing. Nothing up there? Nope. Let's get this collapsed. There we go. Oh, another dead end. So only that one chest so far. But we'll see what we come up with. I'm experimenting at the moment with the... Ooh, hello. Can I attack you? No. You can poison me though, I believe. No, that's only one of you. Hello. Come on. What gear am I actually wearing? Just that stuff, right. Because I'm so rarely actually caving, I always forget what I've actually got on this server, as it's only since doing the extreme survival work that I've actually got to the habit of discovering that actually these things aren't so terrifying and things that should never be entered and all sorts of stuff like that. Still don't know where that spawner is, but there we go. Just a little bit of a detour. If we head back up, I'll show you what I was doing while the camera was off. So let's just get back up this way. There's daylight. Not quite sure the best way to aim. There we go. So yeah, this is just the corner I'm digging out. So to maintain my current design that I've been using for the houses, it would actually be quite a long entryway, although at least that can be maintained, but that's all. So yeah, slightly frustrating on that end, that it is a very long entrance, but I'd encountered the problem over here, as you can see by the fact that the lava hasn't reset yet. Let's just fix that quickly. There we go, there was a leak here, which is why this has suddenly appeared. Built this house here, a distance away from there, went up to the next minimum height I could build at, because otherwise I had a problem with the floor hitting that. Built the next one of these. Built a pair of them, again, the minimum distance that was safe from the corner. Oh yeah, that lava's currently lighting one of these. Or no, that lava's here. And put in the wall here so that I could experiment with this idea. So let's just... yeah, that's probably more ideal actually. If I do that instead. So yeah, you have the wall containing the lighting there, you have that lighting there, and that was all fine. But then this created the problem of leaking into the house below. So I'd have to do something to line up all of these, because I quite like the idea of having this, as it matches this. Actually, can I? I'll just darken one of these. It's got the corner light, the wall lighting anyway at the moment, so let's put this one back. There we go. these continuous streams of glass going down the pyramid, which contain the lighting, which make these obsolete. Won't knock out the higher ones actually. So I was quite happy with this idea. This I liked, because the doorways could be that much closer together. This is only a 3 wide gap between them, which gives us this, just the one wall, which I could have made into a lava curtain much like this, but that had its own issues. But I really liked this design, only to discover that because of the thing here, you ended up with that, which is definitely not what we were aiming for. So then I was looking at this as to where the houses would end up here. I believe this level is the next level I could build at. Let's just fill in this gap actually. There we go. So I was just digging out what's here. I've swapped picks rather than wasting the end of that pick, just in case I do need to silk touch anything before I turn the server off in the end. So let's just quickly finish this. There we go. Oh yeah, the server is on 1.6.2 at the moment. We've updated still, but when we get to 1.7, because it might be the biomes, then we've gone with, oops, caps lock. I always end up accidentally having that because I use shift so much. I end up with caps on all the time. I really do feel like they should rearrange keyboards sometimes, but then I don't think there's actually a better arrangement that I'd want. So yes, it needs to be 5 blocks up. So 1, 2. Sorry, that doesn't count. That is the starting block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this block. So you go to the corner, skip 1 for the wall from the corner lava, 1 for the internals, and the house would be dug back here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apart. Yes, I believe that's correct. 1 second. Gap, wall, or was it more than 5 apart? Sorry, what did I have these 2 doors apart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that's where my problem is. I wanted them 5 apart, and then I dug out the 5th block. There we go. So let's just do that a second. Oops. Let's pretend there isn't a ravine here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would put it here, which isn't actually, oops, oh well, ideal. Ow! Because really I want them to line up as this lava flow would run down here next to the door, so at the 1 every 5 blocks, which is the minimum apart if I wanted to have the blocks the way I'd prefer them to be, because ideally I'd want the blocks like this in the wall. How is that for lighting? Not actually that bad. Yeah, that would work as the sole lighting, which would mean it could actually be 1 block lower. So let's just have a look at where we would be if we were 1 block lower. So there, and there, which again isn't in line, because actually that would put the lava flow directly on top. So that doesn't work. Let's have a quick try of what happens. 1 second, this is actually like this. Whatever. There we go. Oops, that was the wall, right. That's that layer there. And if we just get rid of all of this. Actually just focus on the corner onwards, I think, for the moment. I've just been doing this because I chose a line and have been completing it so that I could just expand the corner out, but what would it look like if I were to do it one higher? Because I don't mind having some wasted space if it will get my doors roughly where I want them in relation to each other. Otherwise I'm just going to have to line them all up and accept there's dead space in the pyramid, of a lot of dead space between the rooms, because they wouldn't be, I'd have to line them up with the very bottom layer, I believe, because that's as few as I can fit on that layer, but then there would end up being dead space near the corners where you can't actually fit another room in. So 1, 2, door, 2, 3, 4, 5, door, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that work? No. Phooey, because that then puts the lava flow here. Although the lava flow there would mean it would be that design in some of the rooms. This is actually quite difficult because I don't want to go up another one, but I can't seem to line the doors up doing it like this. So if I instead went for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 idea of putting it all in line with one at the bottom, so let's just quickly do that, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, see, you couldn't have a door here because then that would be an issue unless the door was, unless that represented the wall on this layer, but then, or the corner ones could actually just be bigger rooms, because this would then allow for the lava flows to come down, because that would be there, 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 and would actually join at the corner. For now we're just going to represent it without actually putting it in. So I just want to show the concept off. Oops. And there's no danger of anything joining us anyway. Oops. Now this actually works quite well. Alright, now let's get you out. There we go. So then they'd actually join, which would be quite cool. And then I can still have the holes in the wall, just accepting that maybe I'd just make this one wider, see if I could put the holes in the wall with this flow. So yes, I think this actually is the design I'm going to go for. Let's see how many more blocks we can waste getting a good view of this. There we go. So yeah, I think what I'm going to end up going for is something like this, probably using normal slabs of stone. Oh no, those are the stone slabs. I might end up making the entire thing out of the slabs then, because I'm not sure I like the stripy design, but I do like the ability to then have all the lava flows taking the place of all these torches that I've had to use here. I'm not a fan of all the torches at all, while being able to use lava for lighting. The rooms can actually be a nice distance apart. Just a thought. Sorry, one little thought. What's the spacing you end up with at 4? So it's a door. No, because the door ends up there. Yeah, it doesn't work on any of the sensible layers. Actually, you want that torch. So, yep, this is definitely the design we'll be going for then. I'll flesh it out more without it being on the camera. I want to get the idea sort of built up a little bit better. Can I just glitch into that at all? Lovely. So yeah, that design, lava going under all those glass blocks so that you can still walk across without having to affect the heights, because that was horrible. There we go. Yeah, this one I really like. This works really well and I'm really happy with that, as that is what basically this will look like, other than the fact this is every other. I actually really like the broken up design, slightly better than I do like that. This just did not work at all. And then yes, the basic housing then will be this sort of size. I might as well keep the flooring, as separating it to the 5th block is a nice distance between the houses, as well as being good for this flow here. So yes, I think with that it'll either be 4 or 5. That I'll make my mind up on the actual server, I think, because I'm quite attached to these lava walls that I wanted to use. I did want lava walls in it. So yes, there we go. We have set the design up. We've discovered a ravine and mine shaft that's at a nice low level, just in time for when I've given up on this server for actually bothering to gather resources. So the plan on the new server will be to dig out the pyramids, and I want to flatten the area as much as I can, gather all the dirt, make the wall for safety from the mobs. Having been watching the Mindcrackers videos, it's definitely going to be necessary to have safety from all of the zombies that like to keep coming. And then I was debating making the roads out of the hardened clay, because it's a nice, close enough to dirt brown colour that you can have it without the worry about it being grown over, and without having to have a border like, is it Doc that's doing that? Just trying to remember who's been, or was that Anders? No, I was watching Anders' video, wasn't I? Anders' road that he's been doing. Yes, he was saving Doc, that's why. Sorry, I've been watching the videos with the border, but I don't really want to have to use a border because that makes it a bit too wide for my purposes. So I'm thinking clay like this, in order to have nice paths that are still brown while not being too far off the original colour. Although I do love his solution for how to do that, but if I did that it would definitely have to then come up with something I wanted for the sides. But this is now decided. I've got one more experiment I want to do, which will be in another video, won't be in this one. I've come up with yet another design for a town, where this one is very lava based. I then want to design one that's very water based. Sort of, I got the idea from the aqueducts that are in the lens, but without any actual lens shaped buildings being involved. I literally just want to use the aqueduct idea and have one central fountain. It will be, I think, a 2x2 fountain, so then the channels will always be too wide, with either a hardened clay or something like a sandstone running either side of it, so it will all be water, and then the various buildings joined by these canals. So that's the idea. The entire thing would sort of end up being another pyramid shape, but this time a normal pyramid, in order for it to be one source block, having to keep dropping the height. So I'm thinking of having these twin cities as my next design. So those are the two projects I've come up with. I am hoping to get regular output of videos from the new server when it's up. I'm trying to do recordings of enough episodes when I'm at the computer that there's plenty of content to keep putting out even when I'm not on the computer for days on end. So fingers crossed you'll see a lot more content from this channel, both of survival Minecraft and of other games, as I'm getting used to doing all the recordings. There's a few that I won't be able to do because I just don't have the system to do. I tried doing a Let's Play of Cube World. I'll be putting the footage up, I've decided, but it just wasn't going well. My system was slowly getting worse and worse. It couldn't handle recording and playing the game at the same time. So I will make another video when I've started to play with the other town design, but that's the last that I think you're going to see of the pyramid, and then there will just be another roundup video of me saying goodbye to the server. I'm going to do a tour and visit everything that different people have built in order just to give it a send-off, and then hopefully we'll get onto a regular recording schedule when 1.7 comes out, because biome change or not, we are starting New World with 1.7. And so I'm going to have to say goodbye to all my villagers. I was very happy with the design I got there. It's the first time I've actually tried to not just spend all my time focused on one gigantic building. And although the pyramid will basically be one gigantic building, it will have a variety of unique houses and shops within it, because they're not all going to be just the three wide. Some of them will actually end up being much wider and things. I'm going to be playing with that, but all of that I want to be a bit more organic in its growth, so that will all be on the... Sorry, I just realised I'm gesticulating to say things when I let go of the mouse, and I'm gesticulating and you can't see a thing of it. You have no idea what I'm trying to emphasise. Oh yeah, sorry. Random redstone block on the roof. We were checking if the dynamap of the server actually showed the new blocks. So yeah, that's that planned. I will see you soon with the aqueduct test that I do, and then not a lot else actually left to do here. The sheep farm design that we've got over here, oops, let's just quickly hop up onto the roof. Please say I got that right. Thank you. Yes, this sheep farm design is going to be copied. I know that now animals don't escape anymore, but I really like the appearance, the contrast with all the different colours, and then the green and the blue. So I'm going to stick to this design, basically exactly the same. Redo the sheep farm, because the project the sheep farm is for, I've actually been designing in single player, so you will see that appear on the next server as well. The only thing I know for certain I want is another plains biome to do the pyramid city in. The aqueduct city will accept whatever biome it ends up in. The only thing it can't be is a forest, because otherwise I have to deforest the entire area. But if that happens, I will still do it, but it can't be an ice biome because the water can't freeze. So anything other than an ice biome, because I would just chop down everything if I had something like a jungle, will be used for the aqueduct city. But I'm going to keep my eye out for a good plains biome when we start up again, and then the three projects of the two cities and the sheep farm will be the main focus of the initial videos. And I've got an idea to kick off the prank wars on the new server. Unfortunately, the idea does actually require some resources that might take a little bit of gathering, so it might not actually be the first prank anyone does on the new server, but it'll be the first prank I do. So I've got that already in mind, and I'm actually quite excited for the update. So fingers crossed 1.7 comes out relatively quickly, although being a big biome update, fingers crossed, it's unlikely to be that quick, but when it comes, you'll get that. If it's not coming for quite a while, I'm going to start up a playthrough of one of the super hostile maps. I've had the map set on my system now for quite a while, but then not actually got round to doing it. Doing the ultra hardcore stuff, the generation stuff, and my recording of other games has taken up all the time I've been on the computer, so I've not actually got round to spending the hours playing through that map. But I think in the time waiting for the new server and after saying goodbye to this one, that's going to be what I work on. So hopefully you enjoy that when it comes out. Let's just get over here, as I'm looking forward to it. So yes, there should be a lot more regular content from this channel coming out very soon. I will see you there. Bye.